Which of the following pairs of linear equations are consistent or inconsistent? If they are consistent, obtain the solution graphically. They explicitly could state that you'll have to obtain the solution graphically. Let's look at it. Let's start with the first question. We're going to run through the same thing. We're going to find out A1 by A2, B1 by B2, C1 by C2. These are the values of A1, B1, C1. These are the values of A2, B2, C2. So A1 by A2 is a 3 by 6, which is equal to 1 by 2. B1 by B2 is a minus 4 by minus 8, which will reduce to a 1 by 2. C1 by C2 is an 8 by 9. So what do we have? A1 by A2 equals B1 by B2, but is not equal to C1 by C2, which means that we are talking about a case of no solution. We are talking about a case of inconsistent system of linear equations, pair of linear equations. So here we can't find the solution. So there's no point, no worries about graphical, finding the solution graphically. So first part done. Summarize it in a printed form. 1 by 2 equals 1 by 2, but not equal to 8 by 9. So we're talking about no solution, inconsistent system of equations. Let's look at the second part. X plus y minus 5 equals 0, 2x plus 2y minus 10 equals 0. So A1, B1, C1 are 1, 1 and minus 5. A2, B2, C2 are 2, 2 and minus 10. Let's find the ratios. A1 by A2 is a 1 by 2. B1 by B2 is 1 by 2. C1 by C2 is minus 5 by minus 10, which is also equal to 1 by 2. So we have A1 by A2 equals B1 by B2 equals C1 by C2. So we are going to talk about infinitely many solutions for it. This is going to be a case of coincident lines. So that's what algebra has left us, the conditions have left us. We'll actually check out whether they're coincident. We have the same, as in a set of values which are satisfying. We should have more than at least one value of x and y which satisfy both the equations, which means we're talking about two. Then we can talk about many. We'll look at it. Let's get started. Summarize it in a printed form. A1 by A2 equals B1 by B2 equals C1 by C2. So this is what we have to discuss this. Now let's look at how to find out a solution to it graphically. Pick 2 points that will satisfy the first equation, right? The first equation is x plus y minus y equals 0. I'm going to tell you what are 2 good points. Always check out, if possible, it's going to make life really easy. A value when x is 0 and a value when y is 0. Essentially, graphically, we are talking about the intercepts on the x-axis and y-axis. If x is a 0, what is going to be the value of y? Y is equal to 5 minus 0, so y will be a 5. If y is a 0, 0 equals 5 minus x, which means x is equal to 5. So we've got 2 points. So all that I'm going to do, I'm going to pick this xy plane for the first line. This is going to be 0, 5. X-axis, x coordinate is 0, y coordinate is 5. So 0, 5. The second one is 5, 0. So 5, 0 is a point that satisfied it. So I'm going to connect these two. We have drawn the first line. Let's run through the same exercise for the second line. I'm going to start with x being a 0. When x is a 0, this term becomes 0. So 10 minus 0 by 2 is a 5. So 0, 5 is a point on the second line as well. I'm going to check out what happens when y is a 0. When y is a 0, 10 minus 2x by 2 equals 0. Cross multiply, we get 10 minus 2x equals 0 or 10 equals to x, which means x is equal to a 5. So 5, 0 is the second point. So 0, 5 is one solution, 5, 0 is another solution. So we have 2 points which are exactly the same 2 points relying on both these lines, which means these 2 lines are coincident. If you want, you can check out one more. Pick something like a 1, 4. Is 1, 4 going to satisfy this? 1 plus 4 minus 5 is a 0. Satisfies it. Let's check out whether it satisfies here. 2 times 1 is a 2. 2 times 4 is an 8. 2 plus 8 minus 10 will satisfy it. 1, 4 is a solution. 1.5, 3.5 is a solution. So it's got more than one solution. It can either be unique or it can be 0. Or it cannot have 2 solutions, 3 solutions. Then it can only have infinitely many. The moment you see that 2 solutions are there, which are satisfying both the lines, then you can conclude that we are talking about coincident lines, infinitely many solutions, right? So we'll quickly run through it in a printed form. Looked at x0, then y is 5. y0, x is a 5. Same set of values satisfy the second equation too. We join them, got a set of a pair of linear equations which represent coincident lines. This is how you get to the solution graphically. Before you leave, I want you to do 2 things. 1. Register at online.maxtute.com to get started with your CBSE Class 9 online math tuition. It takes all of 3 steps and less than 5 minutes to get started with your CBSE Class 9 online math tuition. Second, I want you to subscribe to this channel, youtube.com/maxtute, and turn on notifications. Until next time, stay healthy, stay safe, and stay motivated.